Today on Car Traction, you join us at Ragley Hall for the 2023 Classic Car and Bike Show. As the stunning Chevy Bel Air rolls past one of many American classics I'm sure we'll be seeing here. We are here very early in the MX-5, which means we get to see a few of the cars rolling in. We'll definitely be having a look at some of these in the main show. We'll also be looking out for a few British classics, maybe a couple of pre-war cars, 40s, 50s, that's what we specialise in here on Car Traction, but there really is going to be so much here today, a new event for the Car Traction channel, so I'm really looking forward to see what we can find. Lovely Volvo P1800 rolling in now. That is a beautiful old car, I really like the shape of those. There will be a lot more turning up here later on, but first of all, let's have a little look at the pre-1960s section. Probably one of my favourite sections, as I like a lot of the older cars, starting off with this lovely Morris Minor 1000 in a very nice shade of blue. Nice semaphores as well on there, really lovely, great first classic car there. It's beautifully presented on as well. Over here's a beautiful Mark I console from 1953. These are absolutely lovely. I love the big old Ford saloons. This is a 1508cc engine. These would be a 4-cylinder. Such a handsome car in my opinion. Really nicely made as well. Interesting colour as well. You don't see many like that. All original, no welding. That's what I'm reading on the little information there. So a really great car. Another favourite of mine has to be this Morris 8 Series E, the just post-war saloon. 4-door, the rear hinge doors at the front, all lovely and original inside. Exactly how we like them here. Really common car in its day in the 40s, 50s, maybe just going into the 60s, but now you really don't see these at all. So great time up there. Beyond that is a very rare old Austin. Have a little guess as to what this is. This is not any Austin, this is an Austin A40 Sports. Really fascinating car, like the semaphores again. Am I going to keep spotting those today? The A40 Sports is a really interesting car. Very lovely body on the normal A40 chassis. Got a chunky tyre in the back of this one. Very rare car there. An A40 Somerset. Dad's got a bit of a history with these. In oily rag condition, you could call this one. Once again, how they would have been seen in period. Lovely to see. Really graceful design. I believe these are a column shift 4-cylinder. Just such a beautiful shape, the old Somersets. And beyond that, there's another Mark I console. This one's in a 2-tone livery. Very trendy, isn't it, with the chrome strip down the side. Really suits it. This is a floor change, actually, this car. Most of these would have been column shift. I'm pretty sure the other one over there was column shift, actually. So this one's had a few mods. It's also got the little clip-on white wall tyres there, another period mod. Looking very lovely. Another thing to mention is this very cool sun visor. Also another period mod. A lovely start to the day in the pre-1960s section. We will have another look around because I'm sure there'll be lots more turning up here. Next up is the start of the 1960s section. I know I should be really starting at the end, but I'm just going to hotfoot it over to this lovely Riley 1.5. I really like these, very similar to the likes of the Wolseley 1500. The main difference being a restyled front and a twin carb engine. In these, Riley was always the slightly sportier variant of several cars, but these are just beautiful, aren't they? I really like them. A great practical classic in my opinion. Looks lovely in the 2-tone light blue and darker blue. Well supported clubs with this car, I'm sure. Just really beautiful design in my opinion. Maybe one day I'll see myself in one of those. We'll never know. Lots of lovely period accessories on the front, a couple of Lucas lamps, and then some very nice blue tip lamps. I don't know what to quite call those. Beyond that is another car I might see myself in a few years' time, a Triumph Herald. Really lovely car there. I like these earlier designs of the Heralds, but I also quite like the 1360s. But either of them are a great classic car to own. Really lovely example there. A Vauxhall Victor over here. This is the FB, I'm pretty sure these are known as. Sun visor as well on this car. This is slightly later, but still a big old British saloon. Really stylish. An Austin Ambassador, not quite sure that that's 60s, but we'll let it slide. Volvo P1800, there's another one of these that we just saw coming in. Really beautiful car in my opinion. Let's have a look on the interior. Nice and original looking leather seats. Lovely dials as well. Let's just sneak a little peek through there at the tacho. Lovely style. Really stylish car, I think. And in lovely condition, that one as well. Here is a little Wolseley Hornet. The Wolseley variant of the old Mini. Probably one of my favourite variants actually. Really smart little car. Even got the original documentation with it for when it was sold. Does it say a date? There you go, July 1967, first registered for a total of £554. There you are. It's always nice to have the history with old cars, because every car here has an old story that is very interesting and only really suits that one car. Lovely original blue Mel's, I want to say, plates on the front as well. Really nice example there. On the end, I think this is a Humber Super Snipe, I'm pretty sure, with some very large wheels, very snazzy paint job, two-tone inside with the Maurams, I never know how to pronounce those. Very strange effect on the interior as well, extremely modified. You don't usually see these modified actually. Alright, we've got a V8 badge on the back and a couple of tailpipes coming out there. I really like this little centre reverse light, I guess, on the back, as there are a couple of American pickups rolling in now. A Chevrolet 3100 before a slightly later Ford. Definitely have a look at those later. But this Super Snipe is quite a car, isn't it? Here's another Wolseley Hornet on some slightly modified wheels. Looks very tasty on those. Morris Mini Estates over here, quite a rare variant. Such a beautiful little car. These, the Estates, have to be my favourites out of all of them. Another bit of British Leyland. Here's this another Ambassador maybe. I'm not too good on some of these later cars, I'm afraid. I need to swat up on my British Leyland stuff. You can see the Leyland logo on the trims there, so please let me know in the comments if you have anything to say about any of the cars here, or if I'm misidentifying anything, please do let me know. It's the Series 1 E-Type Roadster, stunning car. And on the end, a lovely Volvo P1800. This is on slightly wider tyres perhaps, which really suits it, gives a bit of a sporting edge. Really lovely car. Such clean lines on those, and especially with those slightly wider wheels, I want to say, it really does suit it. Moving on to the 1970s section, an immaculate old Range Rover Classic over there. Really clean. Beyond the little Fiat 500. Always love to see these. Even smaller engine than our little Renault 750. Such a cute little car those, aren't they? A Rover P6. Let's see what engine this one has. It should say on the side. Oh, there's a couple of bolt holes where it would have said on the side. Let's have a look on the other side. This car's in beige, the slightly later front. Now we can't find out what engine this one has, unfortunately, but we can see that it says TC there for twin carb. Slightly later, plasticky front on the likes of the Rover P6. And here is a stunning Fiat 124 Spider. Really lovely on the mini lights, they're so clean. There's not a little bit of scratch or dull paint, it really is immaculate. Just look at that interior. Lovely Alpha rolling past as well, really like those. Going into the 60s section, that's probably quite late 60s I'd imagine. A Series 2 E-Type and a Mark II Jag just beyond that. We will look at all of those, but for now let's focus on this little Italian sporty number. Love the sort of, like, I don't know what to call them, the humps in the bonnet. Really nice car. That's probably my favourite so far. And it's just incredible condition. I can't get over how immaculate it is. All the chrome. Wow, that is so lovely. And here is a pair of Fiat 131s, extremely rare car. These are both 2000 TC, so I presume that means twin carb on these cars as well. Both absolutely immaculate. Really cute little car actually. I love the design of them. Let's have a look at the orange counterpart over here. Yeah, really like the look of these. Those are lovely. Extremely rare as well. It's a real treat to see those here. Yet another P1800S Volvo here. Some slightly different rims on this one. I just felt a couple of specks of rain, unfortunately. It is a bit mixed today, but beautiful car nonetheless. I really like these. The way that the door sort of line just tapers up to the door handle, and then the door handle is used as sort of chrome trim down the side. Just really beautifully designed. As little Austin Healey rolls past. An immaculate Capri in silver, next to a Leyland camper van and a Ford Transit camper van, and on the end a Series 3 E-Type. As the Ford Probe rolls past, really rare car there. Let's have a little look at the sports and convertible section here. Unos Roadster over here, just exactly the same, apart from a couple of badges on the back to our MX-5. Actually no, these have a wooden rim steering wheel, there you go. But apart from that, exactly the same car. Bit of a sporting tuning going on here with the toe strap, the number plate on the front. That actually looks really nice as a Chimera rolls past. I quite like that actually. It's got Mazda Speed wheels on it. Advan tyres, there's the Mazda Speed, you can just see it. I like this little lip at the back as well. I think it really suits it. No sort of silly frame spoilers, just a nice little ducktail at the back. Really suits this car. Lovely example there. Here's a Porsche Carrera S. There's a Marlin kit car over there. And here's us in the little MX-5 California next to a couple of Porsches. Couple more additions to the pre-60s section. I always tend to gravitate towards the older cars, don't I? Is a lovely Hillman Husky in oily rag condition, you could say. Seen this one a couple of times before. Lovely and original, really suits this sort of car. The Hillman Husky is a little sort of estate or van sort of thing. Love a bit of Roots Group. Really lovely condition, suits it as well. Next to that, I've seen so many lovely Mark 1 consoles here today. This one's also got a lovely sun visor on it. Period correct tax disc from 1955, so I presume that's about when this car was made. Lovely two-tone once again. I really love the consoles. Yes, lovely car there. That's just over there is a P6. A few more additions to the 60s section over here, including this fantastic Alfa Romeo. This is either a 1750 or a 2000. I'll have a look at the back in a minute. Looks lovely in blue. A lot of these in red, but actually it's such a sleek design. It looks really nice in blue. I love the style of the steel wheels on these as well. Really lovely car. This is a 1750. I've seen this one maybe a couple of times before. I can just never get over how elegant they are on the inside. And in blue it looks really lovely. That is just really nice, isn't it? Next to that is a Series 2 E-Type. .2 in some of these later cars. Nice pair of twin pipes coming out the back there. Lovely Mark II Jaguar here. I have to have a look at the front to see which engine this has in it. This is an automatic car, which is perhaps a little bit rarer. Let's have a little look on the badge. This is a 2.4 litre car, so still a straight six, but the smallest of the straight sixes available. And it's an automatic, so probably quite a rare spec actually. Nice original registration plates, probably Blue Mel's again, B-Reg, quite an early car. Nice spats as well, or half spats at the back. And lovely original condition. Here is a lovely Austin Healey Sprite with a very interesting period modification. This is perhaps like a, I don't want to say Ashley, but a very cool sort of sporting top on it. I can't remember what these are called, I'm afraid, but really beautiful car nonetheless. What's the name of the top on this one, sir? It's Ashley. Ashley. Oh, it is Ashley. Oh, yes. It really suits it, doesn't it? Yeah. I really love the look of it. Very different to the normal. Yes, yeah. Yes. It's also the windows, isn't it? It's like racing windows. Yes, yeah. Yeah, it looks definitely really lovely. Really like that. Have you owned this car long then?
4 years.
4 years,
Yeah,
alright. Have you done anything to it, or is it just...
apart from the usual mechanical things, no. Literally, as I found her, yeah.
Right, good find then.
Yeah, so a really good find at the time.
Yeah, beautiful. Really like that. It's just such an interesting variation, isn't it? You saw some of these with the Spitfires, but you don't see many of them with the likes of these Sprites.
I know one other that's doing hill climbing, but I've never met anybody else on the road with one yet.
Really? Oh no, I guess it's really rare, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like period mods.
Yeah.
So this is a square arch as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, that's lovely, that.
Mark II.
1963 Mark II, yeah. Really like that. It's a really nice find. Next up, a lovely Austin A35 going into the pre-1960s section, a four-door car. Probably prefer the four doors of those. The A35 being the evolution of the A30, but these had a 948cc engine in it, which was slightly larger. It's also the same engine size as the likes of the standard 10. Oh, I've suddenly remembered. The A30 has an 803cc engine, I'm pretty sure, which is a little bit smaller, and there were all sorts of like little changes, like the chrome grills. A30s had a chrome grill, but the likes of the A35 had a painted grille, larger rear window for visibility as well. But really lovely little cars, so stylish, aren't they? Very dramatic, I think the word is. Corvette Stingray. Never seen one like that. It says Daytona on the side. Is that some sort of period body kit? Wow, that is crazy. Look at the back of that. I've never seen anything like that before. That is incredible. Something a bit more sedate is this fantastic old Austin. Marcos here, a very late car. You can really see the evolution from the earlier cars here. Really dramatic body shape, isn't it? I've never really got a close-up look at these. I'm not sure of the exact model, but very spectacular. Quad cam Mantis. Ah, that's the one. That's the lovely Beetle rolls past. So Marcos Mantis, that one is. Looks a bit cramped inside, but I'm sure it's very fun nonetheless. Reminds me of TVRs actually. Discovery, NC MX-5, a TR8, the V8 3.5 litre Rover engine, shoehorned into the TR7 car. Little mini city. Monkey Mine 1000 Traveller. Lots of stickers in this car. Lovely practical classic there. Fit a lot in the back of an estate, which is potentially a bit dangerous when you got a tasty auto jumble or two. A few Jaguars here, an XK, an X350 XJ, and a Series 3 E-Type, a bit older, 70s I'd imagine that is. And a lovely XK 150 on the end here. The slightly wider grille marks this is a 150. From 58 this car, fixed head coupe, really lovely example. Got the Jaguar Drivers Club badge there with the distinctive Jaguar style of steering wheel. Really beautiful example there. I've retreated to the exit for a little bit just to see a few more of the cars rolling in, such as this very modified console classic. Going over the old cattle grid. A Subaru wagon rolling in now, slightly rarer body variant to the likes of the normal saloons. Making his way in. A bay window camper in green, quite a rare colour for those. Haven't seen one like that before. A Defender on the back of a trailer. There's a lovely Mustang just behind, that looks the part, doesn't it? That is really cool, isn't it? And this Series 1 E-Type. The lovely sound of the Mustang. Sounds like a manual car as well, which is even rarer. A lot of American cars were auto in those days. A beautiful pre-war MG. Nice whiny gearbox. Lovely original condition there, that is a real gem. Love to see some of the more original cars behind the two wartime Jeeps. That is a really lovely old Tourer. A very smart early Beetle as well, domed headlamps with the smaller rear window. As you can see at the back, very early car there. That's just lovely, isn't it? After that, now what is this? A very grand 40s, 50s car. Is it a Jaguar perhaps? Yes it is. Very rare model, I'm sure. Another obscure variant of the old Marcos shape, rolling in now, a convertible. Never seen a convertible Marcos before. A very smart Austin Healey 104 perhaps, rolling in now. Beautiful car. We're on to the second row in the pre-1960s section. There's a new Rolls Royce just over there. This is an Austin 10 Litchfield. Lovely pre-war design of car. Really like that sort of thing. And then there's the beautiful Healey. Really nice early car. The earlier interior as well. Really sharp car in my opinion. Let's see what else we can find in the pre-1960s section. Probably one of my favourite sections. So, new arrivals, a very prettily bodied Austin here, nice semaphores once again. This is lovely, perhaps also a 10 again. Let's have a little look around the front. I think pretty sure that's a 10, but with a really nice body at the back. Ragley RM, lovely condition as well. Let's have a look on the interior. These really just quality car. Look at the lovely wood just all around the windows, lovely leather seats, little peek in the interior. Real quality display there. No silly infotainment system. Here's a Triumph TR3 with quite a rare hardtop. Don't see many of those with a hardtop. Perhaps a bit of a sporty hill climb car. This is from 1959 TR3A. Apologies, it's fitted overdrive and it's a worked hardtop. This one is, there you go, the worked hardtop. Great modification to make to your TR3 or TR3A. Here's a lovely MG T-Series, I believe. Perhaps a TC or something like that. But very lovely car. Really like these pre-war MGs. Beyond that is the pairing of wartime Jeeps. And this has to be a real highlight for me. A beautiful oily rag pre-war MG. Just great condition. Just look at that. Let's have a look at the interior. I love the style of interiors on the old MGs. Beautiful dial there as well. Just look at that. Let's have a little peek underneath. All very oily and nice under there. The way we like things to be on here. I like the little handle there. That's a really nice little touch. Another little touch is the bonnet release handles, which also have the MG logo on. Really stunning car there. Love that condition. Just looks brilliant in it, doesn't it? And here is the very early Beetle. Very early one to be pre-1960. Let's have a look on the back. I believe it said a date on it. There you go, 1956. Very early car. Nice GB plate as well on the bottom. Real rarity there. Lovely Rover P4 over here, but just excuse me for a moment because what is this? A Citroen 2CV, a Cadillac van. We were recently at Autos de France at Alton Parker. There were a couple of those there, but you never see them really at just general shows. Lovely original condition. Dad used to have one of these. Really clever design. These sort of the corrugated, just designed to be really light but also really strong. What a beautiful oily rag car. Lovely little commercial. That is a real highlight for me. What a lovely thing. And here is the Rover P400. Quite a modified Triumph Spitfire over here, perhaps a Mark IV. It's perhaps a Mark IV or Mark V. This is the 60s section, I believe, so it may well be a Mark IV, slightly earlier than the Mark V, with the 1300 or thereabouts engine, the Mark IV. Then the Mark V had the 1500 engine in it. Here's the fantastic Hillman Imp, sounded quite fruity on the way in. Lovely condition, slight sporting edge to it. Beautiful colour as well. Very similar shade to this, not a Mini but an Austin 7 here. The very first of these minis were known as the Austin 7. There it is from 1961. Extremely early car in production. All sorts of lovely period accessories in there. A BMC branded rug. That's really rare, and a nice old period correct radio as well. Beautifully presented, this car. Absolutely mint. You can see the typical Austin louvers, or like ripples on the grille. Here's the E-Type. It's a very modified console classic, very sparkly paint job, square arch Austin Healey Sprite, and an Austin Cambridge over here, the 4-cylinder variant, and then the Austin Westminster, which was the 6-cylinder, with the Austin Cambridge, perhaps a slightly cheap car in period, real all oily rag. This is this might be a Westminster actually, because it's an A96. Apologies, this is actually a Westminster, I believe, because the A90 was the Westminster, so this does actually have the 6-cylinder engine in it, I think. So apologies for that little error. Really sharp looking car, these, in my opinion. Really like them. Beautiful Mercedes Pagoda coupe here. Really lovely car, so elegant, these. Beautiful condition as well. Really like this blue, just such an elegant car. Really love that. Great contrast in between this one and the lovely old Westminster. Here's a big old four-seater saloon Ford. Not exactly sure the model of this. Perhaps it's part of the Mark IV Zephyr Zodiac Club. So I think this is Mark IV Zephyr Zodiac then. Executive. Very much defines this type of car. Executive saloon. MGC here, the 6-cylinder variant of the B. An XK, perhaps a little bit out of place, but with his Jaguar friends and the lovely Mark II. This is also a 2.4 engine car. You don't see these that often actually, the smaller engine cars. So yeah, this one and the other slightly oily rag one, quite an interesting pair, because you don't really see the 2.4s or 2.8s that often. XK 150 Tourer, drop head coupe, I guess you could call them. And a fantastic old Zodiac, mint condition. These are the sort of 50s, 60s Ford saloons that I love. Column shift. I'd imagine it'd be 3 on the tree, maybe 4-speed. Lovely condition. The Mark II convertible this one is. So lovely in the two-tone. Marky Minor convertible. An SL Mercedes and a Morris Mini Traveller once again. C-type replica. Next up, that's a lovely car. Let's have a look in the 70s section. We've already done the front row, so I'm not going to do that again. Although it is worth noting the rare hardtop on this Series 3 E-Type, because it is a roadster, but it's had the hardtop, which you don't see that very often on the likes of the Series 3s. Here's the 911T, quite an early car. Flat 6, burbling away. A Reliant Kitten here, completely different car, but same decade. Real time warp in beige. There you go. This is the P1800 RS Ford Escort Mark II there, with the plastic front making it an RS 2000. Audi Quattro, long wheelbase. Here's the green bay window camper, such a rare colour. Oh, I see in double there's a beige P1800 over there with the same wheels as this beige P1800 over here. Well, not beige actually, I don't know what colour it is, but I thought this car just moved, but wow, 2 exactly the same. That's a real rarity. Just beyond this fantastic old camper should be sort of quite a late Beetle over here, perhaps a 1302. Lovely original car, a Triumph Stag, the first I've seen here I think. A Mark II Escort with some stickers on it, and a Capri just on the end over here. This row's also been extended a bit further to accommodate a few more lovely cars from the 70s. So many lovely classic cars here. An Aston Martin V8 Vantage, I believe these are known as. Really sort of brute butch car in my opinion. Automatic gearbox, 3-speed most likely. Really huge engine though. And there's a Rover 2000 P6, the smallest of the engines. Lovely condition also, with a little pinstripe on the tyres. Really clean inside as well. This is just the 2000, so no twin carbs on this one I believe. MGB in white over here. It's a Mark I Escort, the first we've seen here. This is a 1300 XL, this car. And quite a late midget and a Defender on the end. Another Defender over here known as the 90, some of these later cars are. And there's a Lotus Esprit Turbo just beyond that. Once again, 2 extremely different cars but from the same decade. Here's a fantastic minivan, really like that. Slightly later Mini. And a very rare old Ford. Is this perhaps an Escort? It's a Gear. Mark IV or something, I'm not sure. Yeah, Escort Mark 1.6 Gear, I think it's a Mark IV. Protected by Sparkrite period correct stickers. It's immaculate, this car being a Gear. It's a very plush spec. Next to that is a Mini, an MGB GT, quite a late car. Renault 5, a Volvo, a Saloon. Another MG midget, another square arch. A Capri Laser. Slightly later Transit, a 928 Porsche, a Sierra Cosworth. Just on the end here is a real rarity, is it perhaps? And Morrison Ital van, I want to say that is. Real rarity. More 80s classic cars, a 944 Porsche, a couple of Porsche convertibles, a Nissan 300 ZX, very desirable car nowadays, a Metro City, another Ford Capri 280, so a V6 in that one, Brooklands edition, that's quite rare, Jaguar XJ6, another 928S, and a very smart looking Sierra Cosworth, really nice car there, a Volkswagen Cabriolet, Mini with some Cosmic, I believe alloys those are called, and another V6 Capri on the end, and then a couple of Metros, the closest is an MG, so there's sporty variants, and then just beyond that is a City, one of the more bog standard variants. This Capri is absolutely immaculate though, worth noting how hard it is to keep all this black plastic clean, but it certainly worked well on this car. From 1985 this car. There you go, a selection of things that happened in 1985. Quite a few songs there, bit of Dire Straits, Brothers in Arms, Back to the Future, View to a Kill. You can tell I'm just reading off that, I don't know that much about the year 1985. Next, let's have a look at the, is this the 90s section, I think? Yeah, let's see if we can find any gems in here. Well, predictably, I'm drawn to this absolute beauty of a Saab Turbo. Not any Saab Turbo, but a Carlson. Extremely rare variant. I really like these Saab 900 Turbos anyway. This is a 3-door car as well, so it really is the most desirable spec possible. Carlson, really rare variant, there it is. Extra little body kit for the Carlson. Ah, it's just brilliant, isn't it? Such a rare car as well, and extremely desirable. Yeah, the likes of the LPT, which is the low pressure turbo, but this is the full shebang, the full turbo. Really love that. Another real rarity just beyond the Saab 900 is that Mazda 323. Extremely obscure cars here. Also the Ford Probe just beyond that. Really, really rare. Both in lovely condition. I really like the colour of that Probe actually. Quite a good looking car, I think, in my opinion. A couple of Land Rovers here. And a very rare Mini Cabriolet. Land Rover, Range Rover Classic here. Very long name there, apologies. Just beyond that is a fantastic XJR Jaguar. I actually really like these supercharged V8 up front. It's an automatic gearbox, but a super comfortable car, a great sounding engine. I always quite like the idea of one of these with a fairly straight through exhaust. Not all the way straight through, but it would sound good. More Jaguar goodness, a very smart XJS over here. 190E Mercedes, and a very interesting estate over here with many stickers. I'm not exactly sure what model this car is. All the stickers are rubbed off. If you do know, let me know below. What I do know is there's a lot of tape on it. Bit of an MG section here, a few classic MGs, starting off with the MGA. Progressing on to the MGB, completely new design with the B series engine after the MGA. This is a 1600 car, the MGA. Here's the B, quite a late car, GT with the rubber bumper. Much earlier GT, this is a chrome bumper car. Another late rubber bumper. And a V8 with the MGC bonnet on this V8 Roadster. There you are, very cool car. And another MGB GT. This is quite an early car. Not quite the earliest because it does have the rear indicators. Some of the earliest cars did not have those indicators, but that was only for about a year. And this one's got the earlier interior as well, so it's quite early in terms of MGB GTs, perhaps 68 or 69, somewhere around there. But yes, a very early car and a lot rarer than the likes of the rubber bumper GTs, and lovely condition as well. And here is the very rare Jaguar beyond the lovely XJS V12, very sharp. Now I'm still trying to figure out what mark this is. It's got spats on the side. It's just, I've never really seen one like this before. Gorgeous interior, just look at those dials there. Absolutely lovely. Big engine, straight 6 I'd imagine. It's quite an early car there. I'd imagine it's 40s. There's a helpful little information. That's a Mark V, this car, so it's a lot earlier than the usual type of Jaguars we usually see around here. 3.5 litre engine, I presume that'd be a straight 6. Another quick perusal of the sports and convertibles section over here. Here is the crazy wide body Corvette. Incredible looking car, I think. That is really crazy. Lotus Elan Plus 2. Very lovely car in my opinion, and a Ford GT, spectacular car, really love those, so brutal. Real Le Mans car for the road, these, really like that. First look at the American section now, let's have a look at this 40s, I'd have to guess Chevrolet. I'll have to have a look around the front to see the exact model of this car, nice white walls. Chevrolet Stylemaster from 1946, 3.5 litre engine. Beautiful example, just look at that interior, how lovely is that? I don't know if you can see it because there are some dodgy reflections, but really lovely example. Got the sun shield, visor there, really stylish, nice little lamp there. It's quite a similar setup to our Dodge pickup actually. There's a little handle just through there where to adjust the lamp. Our Dodge pickup has got a very similar setup. Let's have a look at the front of this fantastic old Chevy. Really love this era of car. Lovely hubcaps as well. That is a real stunner. That is lovely. Really like that. Here's the very stylish Mustang quite a bit later. This is a manual car, as I mentioned before, 4 on the floor, so quite a rare variant. It might have been modified at some point in its life to that, I don't quite know. Let's have a look at the engine. Very large V8 up in there. Really nice example, especially being manual, real driver's car. Here we can see the slightly different body shape of some of the other Mustangs in the period. This perhaps looks... oh no, this is another manual car. Oh, it's really rare to see a couple of manual cars as close to each other. Here we are back at the Austin 10, not a Litchfield like the other car. But there's a little bit more information on this car now. It's beautiful, isn't it? I love this style of body. Just stunning. It's a 1935 car, Gordon Pixie Vitesse body, only 2 believed to be remaining, which is absolutely beautiful. I really love the shape at the back as well. Really lovely car. Some form of lovely pre-war special. It's just pulled up over here, lovely sort of hill climb car. Just trying to figure out what it is. I think this is perhaps a Lee Francis. I thought it might have been Vauxhall, but it didn't have the flute. So Lee Francis, very rare to see in this type of body shape. Just squeeze 2 seats into there, which I wouldn't think you'd be able to do normally. But very interesting, lovely little exhaust as well. I like that, the sort of clam shape. This is a really rare car. I've never seen a Lee Francis like this. We've got the external handbrake, I believe that is on the outside, and then all sorts of gubbins and going on in there. Not actually a central throttle, I would have thought it would have been, but it's actually got the conventional layout, which is quite rare for a pre-war car like this. A leather bag just there. Oh, lovely Zodiac rolling in as well. Beautiful 6-cylinder. And here's the Jaguar Mark V. It's relocated to the right section. Let's have another look over here. Oh wow, a Model A in absolutely mint condition. I love Model A's. I think I really want to have one in the next few years or so, because they're really well supported clubs. The 3.4 little 4-cylinder, it's very easy to get parts for over here and America. This one's got the extra little mesh in front of the radiator. But I really love Model A's, especially 4-seat Tours. 4-seat Tours or 4-seat saloons have to be my favourite. Then you can bring all your friends along. But beautiful example there. Morris Oxford here from 1952. A bit of information. Price new $427 there. Slightly more upmarket model than the likes of the Morris Minor originally. Beautiful example here. I like the likes of the Oxford MO. Very nice. MGTD here. It's a little Opel perhaps rolls past. Not exactly sure what that is. Oh yes, it is an Opel. And here's the absolutely beautiful Austin Healey. Really love this. Such a cleaner design. The likes of the 4-cylinder cars like this car. It's also got the nice early interior as well. and the strange position of gear lever that came in all the early cars, all these little quirks. Lovely dials, just a really, really pretty car.
Well, good morning again, everyone. On behalf of...
We say we got to do it.
Rewire the dash again, move the oil pressure gauge.
Volvo 240 Estate, 240 DL that is, so a diesel variant. Let's have a look at this Plymouth in the American section over here. Not too good on some of these slightly later sort of 60s, 70s cars, but I'll have a go. It says 68 on the reg, so... Barracuda, there we go, Plymouth Barracuda. This car is absolutely massive, but very cool. Automatic gearbox, as were most of these cars in period. Really cool that, isn't it? Oh, it's for sale in the American section. There we are, 340 cubic inch V8, 3-speed auto.
We've had classic shows here, and I've been fortunate enough to compare some of those.
Very cool, maybe tempted to sell at 26k, just shows how desirable all these cool old American cars are. But to be honest, for me it'd have to be that old Chevy that I'd have over this, because that is just such a beautiful design. But that's just me, because I like some of the slightly older stuff. I also love that Mustang over there. Couple of lovely pre-war cars over here, starting off with this Austin 7 with a very nice little body on the back, the little engine just poking through there, the 747cc unit. Not much else around this car, very simple sort of suspension all around the front, and I love the body style on this car, really cute little car. Just beyond that is a Model A. This is a 4-seater Tourer, the sort of thing generally used for trialling. There's the 3.4 chuggy 4-cylinder, really reliable engine, and as I said before, great to get parts for. Yeah, this is the perfect sort of car for trialling in. All the back passengers bouncing away right above the rear wheels to get some grip going up those slippery slopes. And it also looks very dirty, so yes, I think it has been trialled maybe a few times. Central throttle with these. I think they're 3-speed, I'm pretty sure they're 3-speed. A very cool example. Just in front of the lovely Ragley Hall, a few motorbikes over here and a few motorbikes over here. Let's have a little look. First of all is the Ducati, and beyond that something a little bit older, a Cotton I can see on the fuel tank. Very rare, little Villiers engine down there. Very cool little bike. I want to say 50s, 60s, probably 60s. And a few more bikes over here slightly later. Quite a few Japanese bikes in front of the lovely hall.
Bring it in.
Yet more on the pre-1960s session, a beautiful little Austin A35 van in the RAC livery. That looks lovely, doesn't it? Rolls Royce Silver Shadow, very big car. Wow, another Riley 1.5. I'm sure you can tell I absolutely love those. And a beautiful E-Type Series 1 on the end. Here is a very nice Jensen Interceptor 3, a lovely Saab V4 just over there as well. Another Capri 2-litre car, a BMW 2002 Bauer convertible. Quite a rare variant, being an open top. I like the little chrome strip on the 2002s that goes all the way around the front and along the side. It's just quite a clean design, I think, actually. Sharp looking car, the 2002s. And here is the funny little Opel. I'm not exactly sure what model this one is. It's nice Wolf Race wheels. Let's have a look around the back. Opel 1900, I'm sure there's another name for these, but I'm a bit dumb and I can't remember, so apologies. But as I said before, please do let me know if I'm saying anything wrong or if I don't know anything. It does help out a lot and obviously improves the videos for you guys. Lovely colour as well, I like the little hump in the bonnet, set of little louvers either side as well. Very interesting little car. Cool looking car actually, I think. Here's another bay window VW camper. I absolutely love this pairing of Fiat 131s. They're just so lovely presented, sporty saloon, really like them, and also, once again, find us at the Fiat 124 Spider, absolutely amazing. Another rarity over here is this Fiat 128S. Never seen one of these before. That is so rare. I love all these little obscure cars that we're seeing here today. Got the Coke bottle rear window shape as well, very typical of the 70s. This is an interesting little car, isn't it? Great colour as well. Here you go, Fiat 128 SL 1300. What a little beauty, I actually really like that. I think that's a really sharp looking little car. Selection of fellow Mark 1 MX-5s here. A couple of them are Unos's. This is an MX-5 and this is a Unos, and that's an MX-5. These cars both have the one light kit. We should really get that on ours, shouldn't we? Little winking MX-5, there you go. Another Mark 1 on the end here. And here's a selection of Mark 2 cars. This is a really clean one, isn't it? Looks really nice. I always say I kind of like square plates off to the side. Just looks quite cool. Nice BBS rims as well. An unmodified Mark 2. That was a 2.5 as well, but I don't quite know the differences, I'm afraid. An MR2 just getting crashing on the end here. Another bit of an American club section here. Pontiac Trans Am here. Very cool. And here's a Ford 100. Absolutely massive pickup truck. Pretty sure it's automatic. V8 up front. Like this though, the Chevy 3100. This would have been a 6-cylinder originally, but it might have been modified, but let's hope not. 53 reg on this one. Very cool pattern. I really like this. A friend of ours has got one. I think it's the same shape, dead original. Lovely. Nice to see all the original running gear, I presume, in this one. In this little corner just beyond the little Spitfire Mark IV is a fantastic pairing of old Opals. First up is the Opel Kadett, lovely fastback body, some nice BBS rims on it as well. Really great time up. I think it's actually a really pretty car. I really like the fastback shape, really suits it. A lot of these get rallied, but it's nice to see one unmodified relatively and on the road. Just beyond that is an Opel Manta of a similar era. Once again, a lot of these get rallied in the likes of Sweden. I think these are actually a really cool shape. Both of them, I like the little lip at the back of the Manta, the black part of it, and then the reg and the nice circular lights. I think they're just a really nice pair of really interesting little cars. This one's got some very grippy looking tyres on it, some interesting new rims. But just a fascinating little pair of them. Here today, as the Moggy Minor convertible comes back past these two. There's also a similar to SE6, I believe these are. There was the SE5 and the SE5A, but the SE6 is like this car. They went slightly wider with the likes of these, with the Ford S6 V6 still up front in all of them. Quite set back actually for the to keep the weight quite well transferred behind the rear axle. Means it would handle a lot better. Fantastic oily rag condition. The same engine that went into the Capris, I believe these are. Fiberglass bodied as well, so it probably actually rolls along quite well indeed. Very shiny under there. But yeah, those two Opals are a fascinating little pair. I really like those. V12 E-Types coming back from the arena. Really swish car that. I like the hardtop, it's so rare.
C-type Ragley.
Few modified JDM cars over here. Japanese domestic market. A Subaru wagon here. An Evo, that's quite a spectacular car. An R34 GTR Nissan, that's quite a spectacular car with the RB26 engine in it. Very tunable engine. Another Evo, extremely tunable once again. A Corvette, an interesting little Renault Spider. I've seen a couple of these before. They're extremely rare, but they're a fascinating little car. There they are, the Renault Sport Spider beyond an E46. Just saw a lovely pre-war Tourer coming in past the Austin 10 Litchfield. Let's have a little look at this. Is it perhaps a Dodge? It's got solid wheels, and I think it's a Chevrolet. Look, the red is actually a little bit different to a Dodge. It's got a little bit curvier. I like the little gauge on the top of the radiator, and that our old Dodge used to have that as well. What a beautiful car. I really like these steel wheels and the same colour as the body. Really lovely example. Nice running boards as well with the Chevy logo and the Chevy text. Central throttle as well, probably 3-speed I'd imagine this to be. It's starting to rain a little bit, so it's a good idea to leave the roof up on something like this. Yeah, it's just like our old Dodge in many ways. The fuel filler cap is also on the back there, just like our old Dodge. It's brilliant to see something there so early. This is definitely 20s, I'll have to guess. Maybe early 30s actually, but I'm pretty sure it's 20s. But it's absolutely brilliant to see. Beautiful old Lagonda Tour here. I'd have to guess this to be around 40s, maybe 50s. This is so lovely, isn't it? Beautiful condition. That is a really, really graceful car. Lagonda DB 2.6 drop head coupe from 1951. There you go. 2.6 litre straight six. I bet that makes a nice noise. Lovely Amazon here, 123 GT, one of the top of the range cars in period. They're really smart cars, I think, the Amazons. I do quite like them. That's just been having a chat to the owner of the lovely Chevrolet over there. It's originally a South African car, which explains it being right-hand drive. Our old Dodge was Australian, which was also right-hand drive, so both came from foreign markets. But this 123 GT is a lovely car. I've got a similar sort of Volvo little plaque at the back there in my shed. And here's the fantastic Zodiac. A couple of new arrivals, a lovely Bentley over there just beyond the Zodiac, and a fantastic Mark 1 Zephyr 6. I love those. Bonnet's up on the Mark 1 Zephyr. Let's have a little peek inside. Lovely straight 6 engine.
There's a little thing that whizzes around.
This is a Mark 2 Zephyr engine in a Mark 1 car. That's interesting. It says built in South Africa. That's a little detail that's very interesting. So another South African car here. As Dad would say, needs to get a couple of old stickers on that battery. The spinning car model car club is off. These cars all had little miniature models of them in there on the top of their dashboards. The Herald first, we followed all these in actually. Followed by the absolutely mint Ambassador. And last, the fantastic Vauxhall Victor FB. Complete with dog in back.
Just right, the stitching is actually stuck in, so you know, it's hell.
1970 and 1979. Now, we've got a fair few cars coming, the Aston's coming back. Come on, I think that Aston Martin's coming. Give him the plaque, sir.
Well, here we are in the arena. At the moment it is the 70s cars. We're just waiting to hear the winner. Will it be this lovely duo of Opals? Will it be the Volvo P1800, the Rover? I've got a sneaky suspicion it might either be the old Aston Martin V8 or it might be that beautiful Alfa Romeo over there, but that's just a guess. Here's the Rover P6 again, Ford Escort 1300 XL. Nice to see one that hasn't been modified, I must say. Fiat 500, gorgeous little car, that might do well as well. And also the Fiat 128, how rare is that? Same can be said for the Saab. I haven't actually had a closer look at this, so I'll take the opportunity now. Looks a bit of a road rally modifications going on here. Very cool car. Still column shift though, interestingly. I think that one's got a good chance for the top of the 70s here at Ragley Hall today. I love these old Saabs. This is 96 V4, fairly early V4 actually. I like that little lip at the back there as well, looks quite good. Nice Saab sticker, that's the earlier style of logo that was seen on the likes of the bullnose cars. Or will it be the lovely Series 3 E-Type? We will have to wait and know. I love these quad exhausts of the V12 cars, really like those. And also it's quite rare being a roadster with a hardtop, and also it's a manual car I've noticed since, which was also even rarer. Lots of these were the likes of a 3-speed auto, so a manual V12 would be quite a special car.
So we can get you in as soon as we can.
Well, there you go, it ended up being the Series 3 E-Type due to the 50 years of ownership by the current owner. And off they all go. Soon it'll be the 80s cars coming in. Both the Opals are heading off now. The Alpha, surprised I didn't even get runner up, to be honest. That's a beautiful old car. The Cadet's also off, as the Saab is also going down there. The Escort is also going just in the background there. All the 80s cars rolling in. Pick your car for the win. For me, it's probably got to be that mini little van, but I haven't quite seen what's coming up. Might well be something like the MG Metro or the 924. I still haven't quite seen everything that's coming in, or maybe even the Lotus Esprit down there. But for me, I think the mini van will at least get runner-up. If it were me judging, it would, but I don't know about these guys. Oh well, a surprise is the XR3i one. I thought it might have been popular. That sort of car is very popular at the moment. But for me, it'd probably be that Mini over there, but that XR3i is a lovely car.
We've got a winner.
Next up are the 90s cars on the way in. First up, a very cool looking MX-5. Didn't see that one before. Looks nice and low and sporty with the very rare Ford Probe behind. I think that's actually a really cool shape. Very interesting pair there. Well, as the 90s cars are preparing to go out the arena, I think we'll start joining them. The field is just a shadow of what it was before. Many lovely cars still there, but we've looked at them all already, so we're going to start heading back now in the MX-5. Yeah, alright, hello. I know you're trying to appear on a celebrities channel, but just leave it, alright?
Mixing it with the young and famous.
Yeah, get out the video, you ruin it. I hope you enjoyed this video, all sorts of lovely classic cars. As I said, please remember to subscribe and comment below what you thought of this. Check out the channel homepage for other classic shows, events, or any racing or any other classic car related things. And I think that's just about it, so thanks for watching.
And I say it.